Akademiks was going viral in the hip-hop sphere earlier this year for allegedly having 7 people at his live podcast show at the Roots Picnic. People took this opportunity to laugh, poke fun at him for making fun of other rappers' show-outs, and he would throw his own show in New Jersey later, which I have no idea how that did. But when I heard Traplo Ross was hosting a show in London, United Kingdom, I decided to pack my bags and go there, uninvited, with some actual unbiased filming and reporting on how Akademiks' first show, overseas in London, was going to do. And if he allegedly only had 7 people show up at Roots Picnic, then clearly he shouldn't have a good show out overseas, right? Well, it was interesting to say the least. First off, this was my first time ever in London, and me and UK rap have a bit of a history. In this case, this video that I made years ago where I pretty much trashed UK rap, which I held that opinion at the time, but things have changed since then, and I've come to appreciate some, keyword some, UK rappers. When I touched down in London, it had this familiarity about it that was also novel. It felt completely new, but as if I had been there. However, this isn't about me. I got more info on the show from Ross and the cover, which I saw that Castillo was going to be on there. Now, Castillo is really an interesting guy. Many of you had to have seen him, even if you're American, from his viral clip saying "Sniper out now on all platforms" in the popular YouTube dating series Grilling. Keep in mind, this is hours before the press portion of the show is going to start, and I had no idea what the structure of this show is going to be. I end up linking with Traplo Ross at the venue, the Clapham Grand, and he's rolling with what might as well be 2 MI6 agents. They're suited up, looking like they're straight out of Men in Black, and I start looking around like, damn, they get like this out here? Thankful that I just get to roll around with no worries wherever I go. We head into the green room and I meet the host of the event, who would rather remain nameless. You know who you are, very nice guy, I appreciate his hospitality, and I decided to see what was on Traplo Ross' mind for the show, because he wasn't officially a part of it from the beginning. They just decided to reach out to him and have him do some introductions and participate since he's originally from London.
Okay, we're good to go. All right, well, first ever shot. I had to pop out all the way to London for you, man.
Bro, you're here in the flesh, man. It's crazy, in the trenches.
Shit, I mean, you've got five bodyguards outside.
Know what I'm saying? You had to have the little DJ Khaled treatment for the live event. You know what I'm saying? Don't want the ops pulling up.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know you had smoke out in London. I thought you just couldn't roll through to Chicago, but...
Bro, you know, these Chicago demons are hiding everywhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? Someone might pop out from South London. You never know. But no, for real, man. Apparently, I'll be getting a lot of love in London. You know what I'm saying? We're here for the live show with Akademiks. I'm gassed, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, is this going to be the first show you've done since you started doing the YouTube stuff?
Yeah, it's the first show I've done. The first live thing I've done ever. Like, people can't usually catch me like where I'm at. So, you know what I mean? This is like in the streets, meeting the people. But I'm excited, man. People have been showing hella love. It's good stuff, man. It feels good.
Yeah, you're about to be, doing a little stuff on the mic. One thing that some people might know, you already did some stand-up comedy in the past. Are you going to pull some of that out tonight or what?
You know what I mean? I used to do stand-up comedy. I kind of had to, like, put that to bed when the YouTube took off. I feel like now that I cover so much, like, street, gang politics, crime, I've got to take things a bit more seriously and, like, not really make fun of the situation. But tonight, it seems like it's Castillo's fun yard, so I feel like it's going to be a little bit more loose, a little bit more lighthearted. So yeah, man, we'll see. Should be a good fun.
So are we going to get some more vintage Ross? Because back in the days, you used to pop out the comedy, you used to pop out the jokes, the punchlines, when things maybe were a bit more lighthearted in topics or businessy topics. Are we going to get some vintage Ross?
I get some vintage punchlines. You know what I mean? Akademiks sort of brings the fun, roasting people energy. So I just got to be careful, man. I don't want to insult the wrong person out there. But yeah, man, it's going to be fun, lighthearted.
Dope. Also, you've already met Akademiks, but this is the first time he's meeting you out in your city.
Yeah, man. I met Ak in Miami, like, I want to say last year, the end of last year. And, you know, he showed hella love. It did the Off the Record podcast with him and Lil Boom at Tory Lane studio, funnily enough. So that was crazy, him showing that much love. But now Ak's in the UK, man. It's a weird feeling, like, seeing him over here. He's never been to Europe, let alone the UK. So this is like a big look for Ak. I'm blessed to be involved in it, man. It's wicked.
Sick, man. Can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be dope.
Ross was unaware of what the exact formula of the show was going to be, so he decided to freestyle it, which became a recurring theme throughout this event, across everything, even the main event. While looking into the crowd, this was before the main event, this was just the presser, it looked like the capacity of the venue would be able to hold about a couple hundred people on the floor, excluding the top balcony, which a decent amount of people were up there, but not even close to matching the floor. I also had the good fortune of running into Castillo and getting some words from him before he got on stage.
What do you think is more interesting and exciting right now, this year, moving forward? You look 2 years, US, UK, for you personally?
I think the funny thing about the US one is a different one, because it's like, if you look at a mainstream side of things, it's hard to get people that I would really resonate with. But then I feel when you look, there's some amazing rappers. Like, for example, people like Larry June, for example. He's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like to look at like the bait ones everybody's talking about, because then I just find like it's more pop. But even like, for example, I like Kodak Black, for example. But then, I feel bad saying this, I feel bad supporting his music now, looking at him how he looks and how he's behaving, and I feel sad for him. So then it feels hard to like support his music, because I'm like, am I fucking supporting your downfall? You look like you're fucked up now. Do you know what I mean? But when you talk about people, when you're looking for people, I like people like, for example, like Larry June. I really like in terms of, I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name, but I've been listening to him a lot. I wouldn't even say his rap. His name's Bino Redux or something. It's got a weird name, but he's really sick. I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's amazing. He's current, but he's one of the best American artists I've heard, period. Yeah, but people like Larry June, Bino, Ty Dolla $ign, but those are like, that's too mainstream.
You're tapped in. Like, not many people outside the States even know about Larry June.
Larry June's amazing because he makes music.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? When you obviously sample is a bit harder now, people can't really clear them. But when you hear people like Larry June, it's like, it feels like I forgot the name of the tune when he sampled Wishing on a Star. It kind of reminds me of like a rapper from back in the day. A lot of people don't know his name's Mac Dre. He got killed years ago.
West Coast.
Like, it kind of reminds me of that kind of sound, so I like it. Do you know what I mean? Or even, what's that guy? Dom Kennedy. People like that.
Dom Kennedy.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Party tune.
yeah, people like that. I really like that sound. So when I say there's really good music out there, but if you're just looking at the top people, you won't really find it. It's like the people right there, they make the sick music. That's why.
And we even ran into none other than Cheyenne Reynolds, who stepped into our room as a special guest who was a very pleasant lady. She had her own filmer since she was now doing her own thing and separated from Standout TV's grilling. The main show would start out mainly with Castillo, doing what I would best say was a live podcast, somewhat incorporating comedy, as well as interacting the audience, which is, I wouldn't say seeing him out of his element, but it was definitely something that he wasn't normally doing. Like, for instance, Akademiks is used to talking to a live chat or audience by himself. Castillo is kind of either making music or playing off of other people. There wasn't necessarily a formula, but I will give credit where it is due. Castillo is good. I mean, the guy's very down to earth, super nice, and above all else, entertaining. By the time Akademiks was brought on stage, the venue was pretty packed out on the floor. Everybody had a seat. There were people standing all over. The footage does not lie. This was a lot more than 7 people. And keep in mind, this is not a US-based show. Akademiks is in the UK, and a lot of them were fans of his too. They were throwing events at him from 2015 era. This did, however, take a turn into pretty much a live version of Akademiks' Twitch streams. There was a little liquor involved. He definitely wasn't even close to drunk, but the flavor of the month, or beef of the month for Akademiks at that point in time, was the Saucy Santana situation, which he had some words for that won't be making it onto YouTube for the good of all of us. They would eventually bring on Cheyenne to host an impromptu dating show, which, funnily enough, ended up causing a couple to fall out in public. The dude was basically really drunk, I guess embarrassing the girl, and she ended up getting on stage. He ended up getting kicked off. He ended up getting back on stage. It was a whole mess, but the kind of entertaining mess that you just have to laugh at and are probably happy that it happened, because it usually happens online during a stream, but we got to witness it in person. However, while I was off to the side of the stage, there were a bunch of whispers going around about someone that was right next to us and how he even got into the show and right on stage. So to give some background on how this could have all gone wrong. Back when More Life, the Drake album, came out, there was a UK rapper by the name of Giggs that appeared on the song KMT. That was the song that people accused Drake of copying XXXTentacion's flow from Look At Me. But Giggs is the guy that comes in with the infamous Batman da-na-na-na-na line that became a meme for the US-based audience, And justifiably so. Akademiks gave his opinion and went in on the entrance, the verse, saying it was trash and colorful language. This was his first reaction, to where he walked it back just a bit on Everyday Struggle, but was constantly barraged by UK fans that he addressed it again on his live stream multiple times. He then tackled the accusation that he's hating on UK hip-hop, and this was going viral in the US hip-hop listener base, all just making fun of UK rappers with memes all over Twitter, and Giggs decided to address it on a mixtape called Womp to Them, which Akademiks was featured on the trailer for and received some bars on the album as well. It was more of a mixtape, I guess. So clearly, there was a lot more than some tension from Giggs' perspective towards Akademiks. This was his opportunity to bridge the gap to the US fanbase. He was on a Drake song, and he turned into a meme, partially contributed to by Akademiks, but the truth is, there just wasn't product market fit on that one song in that particular time for a relatively ignorant fan base like the US that really doesn't want to hear foreigners. But Giggs wasn't trying to hear that. Akademiks even talks about the, quote, banning at his London show. I could visibly see tensions on the face and movements of the people working the event, so I asked one of my friends while we're all on the side of the stage, yo, what's going on? Why is everybody stressed out? So he pulls me aside to let me know and point out that an individual, who's also a rapper from the UK, London in particular, but he's more so just a shooter in US terms, we'll leave his name out, was right at the side of the stage watching everything, uninvited. In my head, I'm thinking, oh wee, and not the Trippie Redd song. I definitely didn't want another XXXTentacion situation where someone just runs on the stage and attacks the performer, which was a possibility if Akademiks said the wrong thing. I mean, this was the type of guy that has constantly been in and out of jail in the past. At this point, I was like, damn, good thing he ain't hear about what I said about Giggs in the past. I guess that's just one of the perks of not being the number one guy in the game. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Fortunately, nothing bad happened. Akademiks was very respectful to Giggs throughout his time and appearances in the UK, but another interesting event happened. While he was conducting his meet and greet, me, Traplo Ross, and another person went upstairs to Akademiks' green room. I really didn't have much reason to be there. I was just going with a homie because he wanted to say peace out to Akademiks. But when we walk in, it's none other than Akademiks' girlfriend, Cheyenne, or Shy Glizzy. I didn't know who this was at the time. I just see an iced out chain on the chick, and she comes up to my friend in an odd way, pretty aggressively, but not violent or disrespectful, asking questions like, why would you do that? We've been together for years. You're disrespecting me. And the why would you do that referred to this friend innocently asking a question of, what do you think of the women in the UK to Akademiks? And Akademiks' answer was really innocent. He just said he likes how they're dressed there, much more tame and less shameless than the US, and they seem to be less likely to be hoes at the surface. And that was it. But just from that little interaction of something so innocuous as that, I knew there had to be chaos at the forefront, and the background. And that's all public now, but I wish them all the best. This show was definitely not a flop. It had a solid show out, just from my expectations. I would say, though, that some sort of formula or prepared set or material, something like that, would have made the show a lot better. Freestyling works on a live stream, as does freestyle writing on a Twitter account. But if you're preparing, let's say, a show, an event, or a book in the case of the Twitter example, it benefits you much more to have a much more polished product for the fans that maybe has been practiced a couple of times, in the case of a book, edited, which I believe is something he's working on. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.